Welcome. Welcome to Season 4 of the AOE League's 2v2 tournament. I'm Mr. Beaver. I'm the host of the tournament, and I'm excited to be joining you guys over the next 6 weeks. So just wanted to make a quick video officially launching the tournament and also giving you a rundown on what you can expect over the next 6 weeks. A lot of what I'm going to say you're probably familiar with if you've read the handbook, but I know a lot of people don't read the handbook, or a lot of people at least don't read the handbook very closely. So hopefully this will be helpful for some people. Let's start off with the basic structure of the tournament. So there's 6 divisions. We had 45 teams sign up. Those 45 teams were broken up into those 6 divisions. So every division will be made of 7 or 8 teams. These divisions are completely independent of each other. And what that means is a team in one division will never play a team in any other division. So you can think of it really as 6 independent tournaments. There'll be a champion of Division A, champion of Division B, so on and so forth. The tournament will take place in 2 stages. There will be a group stage and there will be a playoff stage. The group stage, that lasts 4 weeks. There's 4 rounds in the group stage, and we will be using a Swiss system for that. Swiss system sort of straddles a nice balance between a single elimination system and a round robin system. So single elimination systems, you guys are probably really familiar with those. They can be kind of a bummer in a tournament like this because what happens is half of the teams are gone. They're eliminated after 1 week. And yeah, that stinks. It's kind of anticlimactic. People lose out on a chance to be a part of a fun little community for a month or more. And you get to meet fewer people that way. So we didn't want to use a single elimination system. In the past, we have used a round robin system, right? In a round robin system, a team plays every other team in their division. The problem with that is, well, it's pretty long. And what happens is you end up getting a lot of attrition because it's so long. People might find it hard to, schedule matches for 3 months at a time. And when there's attrition, that's a bummer in its own way. So we went with a Swiss system, which kind of gets the nice bits of the round robin system with some of the shorter time frame. The way the Swiss system works, and it can seem complicated at first glance, but it's really not that complicated. Every team in the division will start off with 0 points. The teams will initially be ranked in order of their entry rating. And teams will be paired up in that first week. Teams that win will earn a point. Teams that lose will not earn a point. So then we come to round 2. In round 2, teams with similar points will be paired off against one another. So teams with 1 point will play other teams with 1 point. Teams with 0 points will play other teams with 0 points. You come to the next week. 2s will play 2s. 1s will play 1s. 0s will play 0s, and so on and so forth. And what this does is over time, it has the effect of, the cream rising to the top. And by the end of it, we'll hopefully have a nice, clear ordering. The top 4 teams in that final ranking will advance to the playoff stage. The other teams will be eliminated. So what that means is every team is guaranteed to play through those first 4 rounds. Now, there is one little wrinkle, which is that we had 45 teams. It's not a number that's divisible by 8. So some divisions have 7 teams, some divisions have 8 teams. Divisions that have 7 teams, there is going to be one team that will have a bye week each round, right? No team will ever have more than one bye week, but there will be one team in the division with a bye week. Because we're using a Swiss system, this means that we will not know which teams are playing which teams in a given week until all of the sets from the week before have been played. So this means that it is of the utmost importance that you guys get your games played on time. The games have to be played before that next Monday rolls around, right? So week 1 matches have to be played before March 7th. Week 2 matches before March 14th. Week 3 matches before the 21st. And week 4 matches before the 28th. If games are not played before that next Monday, then the admins, we're going to have to make a judgment call. We're going to have to award an admin win to one of those teams. And we're going to have to do that on the basis of how communicative those teams were, how much of an effort they made to make themselves available. But let's hope everything goes well. People don't have a problem scheduling matches. People get on the scheduling nice and early. Once a match is scheduled, really important that you report that match in your division's Discord. There is a scheduled games sub-channel in there. A game is not officially scheduled until you've posted it in there, right? Important that you do so. It lets the admins know what's going on, lets other teams know what's going on. And it's also there to help us, resolve disputes if someone claims that they agreed to meet at a certain time and someone else claims that they didn't. Again, let's suppose all goes well. You arrive, your opponent arrives at the agreed upon time. One thing I would recommend, though you're certainly not required to, is to hop in a voice chat with your opponent. We've made a voice channel available in each division Discord. Hop in there. It helps the drafting process go a bit smoother. So once you meet up with your opponent, first step is the map draft. Game 1 is always going to be played on Arabia, so you don't even need to think about that. All you need to think about is your map choice. Each team will get to choose one map in the group stage. The higher seeded team will choose first, and they're welcome to choose any team from the map pool that's listed in the handbook. There's 15 maps in that pool. Once they've chosen their map, it's now the other team's turn to choose a map. They can choose any map from that pool except for a map from the same category as the map chosen by the first team. So there's 5 categories. There's open maps, closed maps, miscellaneous maps, and so on. You can see the 5 categories in the handbook. If I choose a map from, say, the open category, right? My team chooses Acropolis. When our opponents go to pick a map, they cannot choose a map from the open category. But that's the only restriction. They can choose any other map besides that. Once the map draft is done, it's time for the Sieve Draft. There's a hyperlink inside of the handbook, which has a link to the site for the Sieve Draft. It's all pretty self-explanatory there. If you've never used it before, I'd recommend going on there, run through a practice map draft with a friend. But you'll see, pretty straightforward. Each team will have a chance to ban a Civ, and then they will pick a number of Civs, taking turns. The pool of Civs that they choose, that will be the Civs that they can use through the course of that set. All right, you've done the map draft, you've done the Civ draft, you're about ready to play. Now, there's just a couple things we'd ask that you do before someone hosts the lobby. One is we ask that you'd agree on who's going to post the Rex after the game. What's happened in the past is that the winning team almost always posts the Rex, but that's kind of a spoiler, right? If we want to cast the set, we now know which team won the set just by looking at who posted the Rex. So what we want you guys to do is to agree beforehand which team is going to post the Rex. That way there's no spoiler there for casters. The other thing we'd ask that you do is just agree on who's going to be odd colors, who's going to be even colors. I know that sounds silly, but I've seen people have silly disputes about colors before. Some people get really attached to their colors. I like green. What can I say? So agree beforehand who's going to be odds, who's going to be evens. If you guys want to alternate, that's totally fine. Just come to some kind of agreement. Then once you figured out who's going to host the lobby, pay attention in the handbook to the required settings for the lobby. But it will be important to make sure that you guys choose a server that's going to be fair to both teams. So what that's going to mean is, letting your opponent know what your ping is for various servers, what their ping is for various servers, and trying to find the best middle ground, right? So I'm in the Western United States. If I'm playing a team from the UK, we might use a US East server. That's a good middle ground. It's going to have a pretty balanced ping for the UK player and for myself. Now, sometimes there's not going to be a server that's a nice middle ground between the players. It's going to be inevitable that one server favors one or the other. In that case, you guys are just going to have to alternate. Choose a server for game 1 that favors one team, and then for game 2, use a server that favors the other team. Yeah, those are the main things I wanted to talk over. There's plenty more rules and details listed in the handbook. Please do make sure to take a look at that. If there's anything that's unclear, any concerns you have, please feel free to reach out to me or to any of the other moderators of the tournament. And yeah, we'll try to get those addressed. As for casting, this tournament's open casting. That means anyone can cast any sets that they'd like. You're also welcome to stream your own point of view. Just please do notice the requirements in the handbook about a stream delay. There will, however, be a number of dedicated casters. I'll be casting. Trashmaster will be doing some casting. There'll be a few other folks as well. Now, obviously, we cannot cast all of your sets. We cannot cast most of your sets. There's 45 teams. There's 4 rounds, right? That's shy, a little shy of 200 sets that are going to be played just in the group stage alone. So we're not going to be getting to all those. What I would like to do, this is a goal, it's not a promise, but it's a goal, is to try to cast at least one set from each team over the course of the tournament. In addition to casting individual sets, I'm also going to try to do a short video each week called the Town Watch. And this will be a chance for me to do a rundown on who played who in the previous week, what the results were, what the current standings are. We'll maybe talk over some particularly interesting events, talk over, any fun beefs that have arisen. We'll talk over what civs have been popular, what maps have been popular, if there's any interesting unique metas that have developed on certain maps. We'll try to do some different things in that. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for other announcements in the Discord. That's it. So excited to have you guys. Start scheduling your matches, and good luck and have fun.